Let's begin. Close your eyes. And center yourself. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in a lot of positive energy and breathe out your sadness, worries, fears, frustration, anxieties, or any restrictive beliefs, emotions, or thoughts through your mouth. Continue breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. Invoke your higher consciousness, radical consciousness, and the prime resource energy. Request the blessings gather all your energies back into your physical body and open your eyes. Yes, welcome back. So before I embark on the journey of exploring our yin and yang and the balance between the yin and yang, let me know if there is any question, anything that you want to share, anything that you want to let us know.
I sense a kind of a different energy since the new year has begun.
Yes.
There is a lot of excitement in me about it. At the same time, there are on the backdrop fears coming up.
Fears coming up. Okay. And you have no idea why?
No, Aatmn, I have no idea why that is happening with the excitement.
Same here. Even I'm feeling that.
And the fear is at times intense,
Huh?
As I was sharing with you earlier that I generally get up at now I'm woken up rather at 3:20 or something. So pretty much the first hour or till about 5, I'm in a very pleasant state of mind. But after that, there's such a dip in the energy and those kind of I can, if I can name them as demonic fears, they come up between 5:30 to 6:30.
Okay. Is there an association of progress with some demonic effect?
Aatmn, it's not about me. I just sense it. Even if I'm in the room or I'm in the lawn, I sense it in the environment. That's what I'm talking about.
I see. Okay, we'll deal with that.
But there is definitely a different kind of an essence to the energy altogether this year.
Yeah, we'll address that. All you could do is just at least do R5 for those energies.
I do that, and then I'm comfortable, and even I kind of doze off for 15-20 minutes.
Yes. So maybe I R5 those energies and I R5 my need and reasons for the energies.
there's a sense of, I need to do something, but I'm not getting a clue what is it that I need to do. I mean,
Okay, I'll see you later personally. Because no, not because of anything. Today we have a different topic, and this may not
yeah,
match.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay. What else? Any other comment? Any other requests? Anything that we need to know?
Hi, Aatmn.
I we know.
Aatmn, to balance my yin yang, is it okay to R5 just yin yang? I R5 my yin yang. Will do that.
Yeah. Begin
Rec-
with yes.
Hi
Recently,
Atman.
I'd been to.
Hi, Rishikesh.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Happy New Year. Very nice.
And same to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Yin Yang for me, I came in contact with Yin Yang was because of Shiv Sarodaya.
Mm-hmm.
So a very good practitioner of Shiv Sarodaya,
Mm-hmm.
and I have felt means this is my feeling, and this is my experience too, that Yin Yang gets imbalanced because of karmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so whenever I have means in Shiv Sarodaya as a practitioner of Shiv Sarodaya,
Mm-hmm.
I've there is a practice that we change the nostrils according to
Mm-hmm.
the need of work. Means if I want to do a heavy work, heavy tasks, so I activate my right nostril, and for light work or for long going of work, I use my left nostril. This is some of the kind of concept which has been used in Shiv Sarodaya. But
Right.
I have seen that some of the times I'm not able to change my nostrils, and that I have felt that this is because of my karmas, which are not allowing to change me. Because after changing means, for example, if I wanted to change the nostril, but it is not changing at that particular time. So means after applying so much of pressure and after knowing so many of techniques to change the nostril.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I feel about yin yang.
That's so simple. Which nostril is blocked right now? Are you breathing from both nostrils?
No. I'm breathing with left nostril right now.
Right now with left, right? So
Yeah.
right is blocked.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And right you associate with yang by any chance?
No.
No.
But yeah, but if there can means if you are helping me to change, I will really love to know another method of changing
Oh,
the
it's
nostril.
so simple with okay, just take a deep breath and feel the breath in your nostrils. All of us can do. It's
Okay.
amazing to have both your nostrils open most of the time together because then
Okay.
you're in a very beautifully balanced state of mind. And since you've opened this up, let me just take you through that, all of you.
Okay.
Okay. So just breathe in and breathe out. And you can put your hand like this and you'll know which nostril is working. It may be partially closed, partially open, fully open. Okay. And you would know which one is fully open, which one is not fully open. So try and imagine, suppose if your right nostril is slightly blocked, right? So try and imagine what is blocking it. So you would feel some metaphor like a rubber plug or like cotton wool or like woolen material, or it could be even a solid or a metallic thing. Okay. And to say IR5, bring it in your right palm. Bring whatever is blocking your nostril into your right palm, and you will feel an energy mass. And tell this energy mass, I revive you, I recognize you, I realign you, I reorient you, I reposition you, I revive you, I recognize you, I realign you, I reorient you, I reposition you. Continue saying till the time the energy mass in your palm starts diminishing, become smaller and smaller. And as it becomes smaller and smaller, your nostril will start opening more and more. And you would be breathing in much freely. Now, the only exception is when you have physical obstruction like polyp or deviated nasal septum, that's when it may not open up immediately. Now, once your palm is absolutely clear, there is no energy mass remaining, you can say, whatever is blocking my nostrils, may it be shifted to my right palm once again. And feel the energy mass, give it a color, give it a shape or a structure. Give it a texture. And once again, repeat. I see you. I revive you. I recognize you. I realign you. I reorient you. I reposition you. I revive you. I recognize you. I realign you. I reorient you. I reposition you. I revive you. I recognize you. I realign you. I reorient you. I reposition you. I revive you. I recognize you. I realign you. I reorient you. I reposition you. Check once again. How does your nostril feel?
Yeah, I'm really feeling very nice, Atman.
Yeah.
So it's little bit of block, but the first it was very hard, and I feel
Mm,
that after few time it might automatically change.
yes.
Yeah.
And get
So
into a practice where you have you're breathing from both nostrils together simultaneously.
okay, okay,
It's a known fact that one nostril is open for 2.5 hours and the another nostril takes over. Okay.
okay.
And it's needed because you are in a very active space when you breathe from the right nostril.
Correct.
And then you're in a relaxed space when you breathe from the left nostril. However, you can be active while being relaxed.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that's an amazing way of being.
Atman, really thank you for this technique.
You're most
Thanks.
welcome. It's so simple. You know, we don't have to complicate it. All right. Thank you so much for asking this question. I think, though I wouldn't label that right as masculine and left as feminine, but it's all about integration and balancing rather than either and or situation.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, beautiful. So that's it. Any other question apart from that?
Atman ma'am, this is Minoti.
Yeah, hi Minoti.
Yeah, actually, whenever I do some meditation or like I'm trying to get back to my awareness, like the one which you started, for example, today.
Hmm.
Sometimes I feel my left side gets highlighted. Like today, I was feeling half of my face, left side, right side face having energy. So, or
Can you
sometimes I
repeat
feel,
again? There was a little disturbance. I couldn't hear you fully. Last couple of sentences.
yeah. So, whenever I'm doing some meditation,
Mhm.
which I become aware of my breath or whatever, like for example, what you did at the start of the session today,
Yeah.
I feel at times I feel my right side of my body is highlighted. Like I could feel energy on my right side. At times it is full. Today I felt just like half part of my face on my right side. So
Hmm.
this means there's an imbalance in my yin and yang.
Perhaps, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll address that. I think with the practice today that I'm going to teach you, you will learn to balance that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, most welcome. A lot of us have imbalance in the right and the left side anyway, to an extent that even the sizes are different. You know, people have one arm much fatter than the other arm, and like even they have to specifically instruct their tailors that you stitch accordingly. And that's because, of course, medically speaking, whatever part you use will, grow robust, and the one which you do not use goes through certain atrophy. That's a word, medically speaking.
Yeah,
However,
Atman,
it's hmm?
yeah,
Yes.
I have experienced that I am able to see more with my left eye than
Yes.
with my right eye. Yeah.
Okay, so for
So
that,
more.
maybe you have to see the your ophthalmologist, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but so don't ignore it. Maybe there is some physiological changes or
Okay.
anatomical changes. So you better consult. Sometimes when you catch it earlier, it's
Mm-hmm.
easier to rectify, right? At least see
Okay.
it. However,
Okay.
in spite of everything, if you can see from one eye much better than the other eye, that means one particular eye is slightly lazy.
Oh, okay.
So generally, right side of the body is connected with the left brain, and left side of the body is connected with the right brain. Left brain is known to be little logical. There's no kind of 100% proof on it because there are different researchers who will keep coming out with different theories every now and then. However, it's popularly known as left-brained. So left-brained people are usually more logical. They think sequentially. They work much better with logic, mathematics, equations, and stuff like that. Left-sided people are more right-brained and I would say operating more from the subconscious mind. They're creative. They are at times abstract in their thinking, in their creativity. Um, yeah, so you can say that whenever you have one side not working very well, the opposite side of the brain probably is little dormant. So good idea would be to balance the left and right. And of course, now there are several exercises available which can bring about this balance. What I would want you to do is to try doing things slightly differently. So if you have a habit of brushing your teeth with the right hand, try and brush with left hand sometimes. No, that brings about the balance eventually. So there are a few things deliberately you do it differently. I know nowadays we hardly write, but most people write with the right hand. So try and scribble something with the left hand just for heck of it, make a design. Now that will stimulate your right brain. No? So start doing that, Rishikesh. And you
Okay.
can close one eye and try and read and use that eye deliberately for some time, you know, whatever you can see. So you start giving exercise. We call that a lazy eye. One eye becomes a little lazy, that you get very active with one particular eye. And
Okay.
very unknowingly, we don't plan that, it just happens.
Thank you, Atman. Yeah.
Great. Any other question, or we go to the topic straight? Okay.
Hi.
So I think I'll just, yeah, we'll reserve the
Hi, this
question.
is
Yes, Chandani, yeah.
uh, okay. Shall I ask or shall I
Okay,
ask
ask.
later?
Let me check if I want to answer right now, but you finish asking. Maybe I'll deal with it later. So that's the last question
Okay.
before I start.
So, if there is a persistent pain in, say, left side, like I usually get more pain in the left side of my body, does it also indicate certain kind of imbalance? And what would
Left
be
upper part of the body, which side?
So it's a bit funny with me because in my upper body I get say my left shoulder and um, left arm feels very tight, and in the lower part, in the lower body, it's my right the pelvic area, the right
Hmm.
side.
Yeah. So you need to just check with the radical chakras. I can tell you right away. So right hip joint, that your pelvic area that you're talking about,
Yeah.
has something to do with the dependency.
Okay.
And dependency on material objects, material stuff, house, right kind of kitchen, and all those stuff, anything material. And left shoulders and tells you that drop your worries. Now it's all correlated. And
Yeah.
sorry?
Yes, I can see this.
Yes. And biceps tell you that you don't have to struggle to contribute. You can do it easily.
Okay.
It's just a reminder. Yeah.
Okay.
So keep in mind.
Thank you.
And just a
Yeah.
little tweaking in your attitude will shift your discomforts or will take away your discomfort. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I just recently got the book and I'm really learning to use it.
Yeah.
So,
It's given in Radical Crystalline Mind, the appendix pages, where you can find this.
okay, sure. Thank you.
Most welcome. Yeah. Okay, so today's topic, the yin and the yang. That's been a topic of a lot of research, and it's one of my favorite topics. I honestly, I didn't even consider this topic worth discussing ever, because for a better part of my life, I've been a tomboy. I enjoyed. In fact, today only I was talking with my son, and he said, I only remember you as a child with your boy cut and, like a kind of a very masculine approach. So even as a child, he realized that I have a very masculine way of handling even children. So, not that he's into any healing, but he was just kind of commenting on certain perceptions in general, how children go through when they look at parents. And yes, of course, the boycott was not because of masculine story. It's because of very busy lifestyle. Having shorter hair was the practical solution to get on and get along with life and not waste too much of time in grooming yourself. So that was more out of some practical reality where I had to just manage my hairstyle accordingly. But anyway, and I thought it's okay. I mean, it's fine, to just respond to the need of the hour, because I was born in a family where I didn't have a brother. So I used to help my dad in all carpentering and, fixing the furniture or changing the fuse. If there was no electricity, I would be the first one to change the wire, and I could cope up, there was nobody to drive my dad around if he had some difficulties, so I would take over. And I found it pretty natural and normal, and there was no big deal in doing what I was doing. In fact, I was happy about that. I don't know about my parents, whether they were happy, but I think it just worked out well that time. It's only when I think I came across one lady, and it was pretty late during my practice. Of course, I had vaguely heard about yin and yang stuff, and I've even taught, but it's never sunk in well. So this particular lady had severe osteoarthritis. She came with her x-rays and I could see the bone density. And I was just wondering that the bones can crumble anytime because the x-rays were the bones were looking transparent in some places. It was such bad case of osteoarthritis. And I didn't have enough time because I was in between travel and couldn't attend to her. And I just casually asked her that, when is maximum pain? And she showed me the joint over here. And just intuitively, I knew that it is about yin yang imbalance. And I gave her the affirmation that I adore the woman in you, women in me. And honestly, she was a very feminine looking person, very well dressed, a very feminine way of operating and dressing up and talking and the lifestyle and everything. So I was just wondering, did I do the right thing by telling her this? However, to my utter surprise, she had her thumb absolutely fixed because of the pain over here. And as she started, say, I accept and embrace the woman in me, and a couple of affirmations related to that. And then her thumb started moving. And slowly it touched the palm. She said, this is after several years that I've been able to touch my palm with my thumb. What a miracle it is. And anyway, we both were happy with that miracle. And it's not just once. You can try it out with several other people, especially if there is a pain in something called anatomical snuff box. And that became a subject of my interest. And of course, I forgot about it. Next time when I visited her, I happened to stay with her, and she just got ready one fine morning, and in her jogging suit, and she said, "Let's go jogging." Now, a doctor in me, coming from my medical background, which was pretty fresh in those days, I said, "Jogging? This woman, is she joking?" She said, "Yeah, I've been jogging, and it's all fine, no pains." And we actually went for a jog, and she jogged for half an hour. And that, for me, was a miracle because I haven't seen somebody, and that she's pretty senior. She was senior to me. And that was marvelous. I said, "How did you manage this?" She said, "Your affirmation." I said, "That's it?" She said, "No, not just the affirmation. It helped immediately, but the pain did come back on and off. And that was a reminder for me." So the story was, this lady was managing her business with her husband. And because of the children, she dropped out and focused on her children. Children grew up. She wanted to go back to the business, but she wouldn't fit in now because the systems were different, things were different. So that was not so much of a problem, but she felt that she was not getting the kind of financial freedom that she would love to, and she would love to now allow her creativity and everything to, contribute in her business, but that was not fitting in well. And then she started kind of feeling uneasy about being a woman. Had I not been a woman, I would have been, full-fledged in business, traveling, meeting people. It would have been a better lifestyle. And then she changed her attitude fully. She said, "It's amazing to be a woman. It's amazing to be provided for. It's amazing to be protected and taken care of. It's amazing to get this chance to nurture these young ones. It's amazing to have a woman's body." And she started pampering herself. She started taking massages. She started grooming herself much better than ever before. She started enjoying her life, and she started celebrating the woman in her. And she said, that's what made the difference. And that was an eye-opener experience for me to watch this transformation. And that's when I started understanding the physiological repercussions of acceptance or rejection of the feminine or masculine principle. And I've often correlated several diseases with the feminine or masculine imbalance. Cutting it short, we have both the yin and the yang. That's, of course, the Chinese way of describing the feminine and masculine principle. The yang is the one which protects, provides, which is a go-getter, make things happen, a fighter. And yin is the one which is the one who needs to be provided for, protected, taken care of, who nurtures, and who attracts. So in olden days, the cavemen, cavewomen, cavemen went hunting and made sure that women and children were safe in the cave, and women stayed back, looked after babies, made sure that the food was given correctly, taken care of, and they enjoyed the sheltered, structured life. And that ideal balance between the yin and yang was only possible then. Later, with so-called advanced society, most women did not want to play that role or didn't want to be in a woman's role play. And most men, not, I wouldn't say most men, but some of the men even started resenting that why the hell should I go through all this? Why should I travel? Why should I take this nonsense from my boss? And why should I take all the stress of business and finances and stuff like that? And when I go back home, my wife is nicely, relaxed after her afternoon nap and having servants to cook for her, and the kitty parties and the beauty parlors, and that's fantastic lifestyle. I wish I have this passive income where I can take it easy, or I wish there's 50-50 and she also does her bit and I do my bit. So in fact, it became off balanced, and a lot of women started playing masculine as well as feminine role together, bringing up children, cooking, and taking all the burden of the household chores as well as finances. And men started taking things literally easily. And it created a kind of imbalance. I'm not saying I'm not a kind of a typical feminist who would say, okay, men should be doing and females should be doing this. No, it's the attitude. So I'm not saying that men should not be sitting at home and doing nothing, okay? I'm not even saying that women should not be earning. In fact, I'm a career person, and there was a time I was a go-getter in a different sense, But today, when I earn, the attitude or the intent behind is to nurture myself, to nurture my business, to nurture my career, to nurture the work that I do. And when I ask for this, it becomes much more easier. Being a woman, I'm entitled to attract finances rather than being a go-getter and grab the opportunities to have more finances. So when I open up to the flow of finances, it gets much easier for me and everyone around. There was a time I used to kind of grab opportunities to make sure that there are enough finances. So it's possibly for others, it would be same, but my intent is different. And this is what I'm seeing a lot of people doing and shifting within. So in a modern day context, if you want to feel nurtured, if you want to feel pampered, if you want to feel taken care of, open up to the possibilities of being taken care of. I know this will raise so many questions. What if you do not have a man? who would do that for you? What if you do not have a partner who's earning enough to take care of you? What if the circumstances are not favorable? A lot of women think that if I do not ever earn, my family will starve. And I had a lady I'd met in Ahmedabad when I was teaching over here years back. And she was complaining that, look, I'm doing very well. I'm earning reasonably good salary, but my husband's not even earning half of it. Yeah. And most of the things that he earns goes into the rent. So it's me who's running the house. And I don't know how long will that go. And, even I have a wish to just take life easy. And it's not happening because what if I quit the job? How can I create a space where he earns very well? And I just said, you quit. He says, what? You know what? We have no money to even have your regular food if I quit. I said, but you're asking for the solution, then this is what I see happening. She said, no way. And the matters ended over there. And I met her after a few months. She came to see me in Mumbai. And she said, I followed your advice. I said, really? What happened? She says, no, 2-3 months of lull, no work. I dropped out and he got a job which is more than his and my income. And we're doing pretty well. And now I can relax for couple of years, and then take up further. So sometimes we think that if I don't earn, what would happen to the family income? However, the family income is decided by the openness of the recipients, and that's children and sometimes even women, or sometimes even seniors. If they are ready to open, they're ready to receive from you. And if you're ready to be the channel of provision, trust, the provision comes effortlessly and very, very easily. Okay. So that's about the finance part of the yin and yang story. I'm talking about the practical part of it, cooking. A man would enter the kitchen to cook, so that I can get things going. A woman would enter the kitchen with a feminine touch, would say, I'm cooking this to nurture myself and my family. So the whole attitude is very, very different when it comes to yin and yang. I'm talking about the classical story. Of course, none of us are 100% yang or 100% yin. In each yin is a feminine principle. There is a part of it which is yang. And in each yang, there's a part of it which is yin. If you've seen that Chinese symbol, they beautifully complement each other. So a white and a black, and you've seen those two shapes. If not, if you go to the event section, this is the poster Swagat had made for us. So in the white part, you'll see a black dot, and in a black part, you'll see a white dot. That's a symbol which represents. So every woman has a little bit of masculine side, and every man has a little bit of feminine side. And till the time you adore and respect a feminine and a masculine part of you, everything is fantastic. Most of the time, if a woman has a highly masculine characteristic, she will end up inviting and entertaining a passive partner, relative. And you'll see that even if the partner is not really passive, he will become passive the moment they settle down together or they start connecting. So where the woman takes a lead, she becomes a go-getter, she becomes a decision maker, and the man passively follows whatever is being told. And they create a beautiful balance anyway. However, sometimes the health does not support. Sometimes the finances show the imbalance. Otherwise, as a team, they can be very, very fine. So if you have a complaint, I know a lot of women come and complain, that look, my husband's very passive. If given a choice, he won't even go for the work, and he's so lazy, he doesn't get up, he doesn't want to do anything. He's not even interested in earning. And he can sit back and look after children if he really wants, if I allow him to do that. And most of these women have a very strong characteristics of yang. They are the go-getters. I remember a colleague of mine sharing this, that there was one lady with severe arthritis and again a pain over here. So, and a Marwadi lady, coming from a very conservative background. And then he was just wondering that how would I explain this to this woman? So he just said, मर्दों का किरदार निभाना पड़ता है क्या? तो बोले हाँ, सब मर्द चूड़ियां पहन के बैठते हैं, जब रिश्तेदार कुछ बोलते हैं तो कोई बोलता नहीं है, चुप हो जाते हैं औरतों की तरह, तो फिर मुझे ही आगे बढ़ना पड़ता है. So in English, I would say that, her perception was that there are so many men in my house, but all of them are as passive as women. So I have to be an aggressive one. And that was the imbalance, which ultimately affected her calcium metabolism. And finally, the arthritis set in. So, so-called conservative background where a woman had never stepped out of the house without being accompanied by a man can also, those kind of women can also have a masculine characteristics, which they need to somewhere bring about some balance in. No? Now, whether you have a masculine characteristics or feminine characteristics, you can only judge for yourself rather than allowing anybody to judge you. It's common to see polycystic ovarian diseases. You speak to women, these women have hormonal imbalance to an extent where they even grow beard. And there are other, like even the menstruation goes for a full toss, it gets affected. And if you really go back into the history somewhere, the girl child in them felt unprotected, uncared for, or they felt that there's not a strong masculine figure who can protect me and take care of me. And that's when the masculine took over the feminine side, and that created imbalance in the hormones and resultant health issues. Now, with the care, you can always bring back the balance. And as you bring back balance between the masculine and feminine principle, the hormones get into the balance and the life gets into the balance. So blaming your partner for who he or she is sometimes futile. So if you feel your partner is excessively passive, maybe they're just complimenting and helping you cope up, or helping to have a better teamwork to balance your aggressive nature. If you feel that your partner is extremely aggressive, probably you need to take a stand and balance. Because if you're passive, your partner has to step up and step in and be more aggressive, whether she's a woman or a man, doesn't matter. So somewhere, the partner you have, now I'm talking about partner and not necessarily husband and wife, because it's a partnership. It could be your boss, your colleague, your brother, your child, your son, your daughter. It could be loving partner. It could be relationship with somebody special, sometimes with parent figures. No? So somebody with whom you kind of connect and bond very well, whether you're in legal or official relationship with them or not, or whether they're blood relatives or not, it doesn't matter. So we sometimes look up to a particular individual as partner, and that can be even a metaphysical figure like a master, or a lot of people I know look up to Sri Shirdi Sai Baba as father figure. You know, if there is a void for a father figure, they often go and, connect to him as if like he's my ultimate father who's providing for me. And that's okay. I mean, that's how they relate to. So how you relate to your partner says a lot about how and what kind of balance or imbalance you have. It could be woman, woman, man, man also. I've also seen two men doing business together. One would be go-getter, aggressive, the other one passive. And the aggressive one would say, I wish this guy becomes a little more active so that I can just take it easy. And the passive one would say, oh my God, he's so aggressive, I better not become like him. I have to calm down and just handle it better. So I remember once uh, I had a very young character, who would often come for my workshops and trainings. And I happened to just see him in his office, and he's a big boss in a big setup. And we went out for lunch with him and his son. Both were my students. And he says, my son is not doing anything. I said, yeah, okay. Says, well, he's all the time in and around. He's working for my office, but then he has to have his own career. And just before that lunchtime, I was just chatting with the son, and he said, I'm really worried about my dad. He's not eating nowadays very well. He's not doing this very well. He should look after, and he should do this. And I found it pretty strange coming from a 24-year guy talking about his dad. Mother had died few years back. And son took mother's role to nurture and look after dad, look after his medications, look after his health and welfare. And because he was a student and he understood my language, I said, do you realize he's acting like a woman in your space, looking after you, taking care of your food, taking care of your diet, taking care of your comfort? He says, yeah, I never saw that. So I said, how do you expect him to be a go-getter and create his own business and be a dashing hero? You know, he's just got into that role. And I think that awareness brought about a lot of difference, because I've been hearing about all his business ventures. The child is now, the son is now doing much better. So we don't even realize at times how we get into a certain role play with certain people. So you're more feminine with certain people, you're more masculine with some people, and you're just balancing all the time. Can you relate to this? Once I have your feedbacks, then
Yeah. Yes.
I'll take you through the remedial part of it. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Does that
we
make
can
Yes,
sense?
relate to
Atman.
it.
Thank you
Yes,
so much. Okay.
There
very
is
Any
much.
just one
question on
question.
this?
Yeah.
Sorry?
So, if we, yeah, anyone like that child
Hmm.
was in a woman's, yeah, mother's character,
Yes.
and how means by just shifting, uh, or are there any affirmations which that he comes to a masculine part? Yeah, you
That's
know.
what I'm saying. More important is that awareness. We don't even realize when we get into a feminine role or a masculine role. The awareness brings about a lot of shift. Of course, there are affirmations.
Okay.
We'll talk about that. But it's pure awareness, understanding that if I step back, like the lady I talked about who dropped out of her busy career, okay, she was earning very well, but she stepped back and she said, I take my position as a woman. Husband stepped up to earn better.
Ma'am?
Huh? Yes.
If both
Yes,
the
ma'am.
partners are aggressive or passive, then how the things can move on?
Then there is a firework if both are aggressive.
Okay. Yes, yes.
So, see, the best partnership or the long lasting partnerships are between two people who are poles apart.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
And I would always say, please don't try to change your partner. He is what he is, or she is what she is, and that's why he or she is with you.
Hmm. Yes.
You've attracted. So if you're very aggressive, you'll have a passive partner. If you want your partner to be a little active, you stop being aggressive
Hmm.
rather than changing your partner.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
You get into your role play, your partner will rise up to it because they have to adjust.
Beautiful, Atman. You just feel like as if you are talking about me. I can.
Yeah, Atman, me
It's a
too.
story of
Felt
so
the
many
same.
households. We have no
Yes,
idea.
yes.
And I'm talking in modern
Atman,
context. Huh?
Atman, there is one little bit question.
Yes.
From as I was living with my sister is a pilot,
Huh.
and we started an institute.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt, I gave her a masculine,
Mm.
role, and I
Mm.
became more passive.
Yes.
Where my whole family used to say that you speak very nicely, you can communicate, you can convince people very nicely. But
Mm.
I really don't know that how I stepped back,
Mm.
and she came ahead, and she got that masculine part. After 2 3 years, I started becoming lazy and very much passive. So she used to complain many of the times to my mother that has changed his nature, and he has become very much passive.
Right.
And now, after she's living, she's getting married, and I'm feeling that I have started again getting my original qualities of masculinity.
Yes.
Now the question is, now
Mm. Mm.
her husband has a masculine qualities, but I know my sister that she has,
Mm.
so how they will manage, this, because actually ठीक है that we try to help our siblings, our partners to become,
Mm.
yeah, we change the role for them, but that's
Mm.
true. But now he, after I know my sister, she's very much masculine into energies, and I don't know that how to tell her that you become feminine again and let him do what he's doing. So
Try to listen to this recording.
Yes.
okay.
They'll find their balance. Don't worry about that, Rishikesh. I see a lot of aggressive people when they are with their aggressive partner. Slowly, one of them softens.
Oh, okay,
We don't know
okay,
if it is your sister or her husband. One of them will soften down.
okay.
May I
Thank you,
share?
Atman.
Yes, yes, Anita.
You know what? All my life, like I have been brought up with the thought that you'll always be looked after and you'll always be protected and all. So I always told my daughter that don't make friends when you are in school or in college, because you will be ready to get married and that fellow won't be earning enough to look after you. And I always told her that whatever you will earn is like cream and cherry on top, but not the main bread and butter. But she chose, in all her wisdom, she married someone younger than her, who obviously earned less than her. So we told her, will you be able to balance and all? She said yes. We said, because egos may come in and all. She said no. And then she went on and on and on and progressing, and he was like stayed, you know. So one day I told her, I said, you change your attitude, because you are enabling people around you not to rise, to be just it's okay, there's no need now. So I said, you just change your attitude that I am not the bread earner, I'm just earning all this to nourish, to just to nurture and to enjoy myself, because I enjoy that, spending that money and all. And she really changed her attitude, and today he's doing so well. He's really, become a go-getter. And also I said, because you are enabling him to just be a meek guy, and doesn't need to do anything. So nothing will come his way also like that. But then that change in attitude, learning from you only, it's brought in a lot of change for her.
So I wish everybody gets mother-in-law like this. Under normal circumstances, in-laws would have said, what is this nonsense, Not earning, my daughter has to do everything. But knowing with awareness can bring about so much of shift.
So, Aatmn, I have a question here.
Yes.
So, if there are mother-in-laws who have, let's say, situations with their daughter-in-laws or, with their son kind of becoming triangulated, so what would they need to do, in terms of the kind of breakaway or affirming? Because, I mean, if you take your position as a mother to the son, is that okay? Or, I don't know.
Yes.
And
Take your position as a mother to the son and not a partner to son.
Okay. So, and what about
And
daughter-in-laws?
release your
Because
son. This is my advice and guidance to a lot of women and men, especially women, if they've had a single life, okay, even if they've had husband, but they've stopped connecting and talking to their husband so much, what happens is, anyway, there is a disruption between a man and a woman, and a son is born. And somewhere, mother partners with son and father partners with daughter, and that creates further rifting. Now, if a mother partners with son and son gets married, the position of the partner has already been given to mother. So the woman who's coming in the family doesn't know where do I belong, and they feel displaced even if mother does nothing, and even if mother is far, far away. And that happens very naturally and spontaneously. Same is true for women. If a woman perceives that my mother is not looking after my dad very well, he comes from the office all tired, she doesn't even offer him a glass of water. She starts serving, water, making food for him, what he likes, sometimes even pressing legs if he's very tired, or even looking after his laundry at times, or the food, or the diet, or the medicine. Now, that's all supposed to be done by his wife. But the more she gets into that role, the more wife distances herself from the husband. So the family starts going a little apart. And for women, the first man in his life is her father. Now she gets married, but there is no space, or there's hardly any space left for the new man, because she's full of her father. I'm not saying that there is any sexual attraction there, but like the role player between the masculine and feminine is so balanced between father and daughter that the daughter doesn't have enough space for the man of her life. And the man doesn't understand, where do I belong? So he tries and finds somebody else. It could be his daughter, it could be his sisters, or he leaning towards his mother to balance it out. And this is where all these imbalances happen in relationships.
So, Atman, how would it be between two yins? I mean, born feminine energy, and in the case of daughter-in-law and mother-in-law, I mean, in these cases, how would that work out? Because if both are operating from more yang, circumstantially or otherwise.
Right. So, being a woman, if you have major issues with women in general and not with men in general, you need to, first of all, address the woman in you. The day you become very fine with the woman in you, you'll be able to handle other women much better.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, somewhere the woman in you gets rejected. So, a lot of people they say, but the woman, like my mother hated because I was a girl child, my grandma hated because I was a girl child. My father felt that I was a burden because he had to pay for my dowry. And, my husband treats me like a pair ki juti. In-laws, anyway, don't give me any respect. And then I said, okay, do you give respect to yourself? He says, I can only respect myself if others respect me, no? And the mistake that we do is we wait for others to respect you. And then you respect yourself. It's not that. People treat you the way you treat yourself. So start respecting yourself, start embracing and accepting yourself. The more you accept yourself, the more others will accept you. The more you embrace yourself, the more others will embrace you.
Atman,
Hmm.
as a thyroid also hormonal imbalance. So
Yes.
is it also related with masculine and feminine energies imbalance?
To a certain extent, if there is a feeling of not being able to cope up being a woman or a man,
Okay.
then
Okay.
yeah. But there could be any other challenge also over and above being masculine or feminine,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Atman, can I ask something?
Yes, Shivangi.
Atman, so is the yin and yang story also pertinent when a woman has very strained relationships with all the close women in her family?
Yeah.
And even so,
Yeah.
so how do we sort of resolve that? Could you please?
So essentially, there is a rejection of women in her.
Okay.
As she starts embracing and accepting the woman in her, she'll find herself much more comfortable with many women around, or most women around.
Okay. So we just.
Also, yeah, also you have to just look at your relationship with mother, because mother is the first female that you interact with.
Okay.
If that is going well, I would tell everyone, if you want to heal your relationships, heal your primary relationships, mother, father, brother, sister, and then self, and then God.
Sure.
And I've seen as you start healing your relationship with mother, most relationships fall in place.
Okay.
Till then, you have a lot of stories.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, so that's 9 o'clock. So let me take you through a small little process. Because a lot of you might be wondering, how do I heal now? Yeah. So close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in a lot of positive energy. And breathe out your stresses, worries, fears, frustration, any restrictive feelings, thoughts, emotions, or beliefs. Imagine yourself in a space where you are alone and you have total command over the entire space. You're very safe there. Now, being in this space, Call your feminine principle and your masculine principle. Observe what you see. Do not judge. You may see your mother or father or brother or sister coming over there. Or you may see your younger self or somebody, known or unknown, entering your space. Address your feminine principle and say, I see you. I feel you. I acknowledge you. I love and accept you. I honor you. I honor the brilliance in you. You are me, and I am you. I see you. I feel you. I acknowledge you. I love and accept you. I honor you. I honor the brilliance in you. You are me, and I'm you. I see you. I feel you. I acknowledge you. I love and accept you. I honor you. I honor the brilliance in you. You are me, and I'm you. Address your masculine principle and tell the masculine principle, I see you. I feel you. I acknowledge you. I love and accept you. I honor you. I honor the brilliance in you. You are me, and I'm you. I see you. I feel you. I acknowledge you. I love and accept you. I honor you. I honor the brilliance in you. You are me, and I'm you. I see you. I feel you. I acknowledge you. I love and accept you. I honor you. I honor the brilliance in you. You are me, and I'm you. Address both simultaneously, your masculine and feminine principle, and tell them, I see you. I feel you. I acknowledge you. I love and accept you. I honor you. I honor the brilliance in you. You are me, and I'm you. I see you. I feel you. I acknowledge you. I love and accept you. I honor you. I honor the brilliance in you. You are me, and I'm you. I see you. I feel you. I acknowledge you. I love and accept you. I honor you. I honor the brilliance in you. You are me, and I'm you. Feel this integration between the yin and the yang, and you as a whole. And recite with me. I see myself. I feel myself. I acknowledge myself. I love and accept myself. I honor myself. I honor the brilliance in myself. I am myself, and myself is me. I see myself. I feel myself. I acknowledge myself. I love and accept myself. I honor myself. I honor the brilliance in myself. I am myself, and myself is me. I see myself. I feel myself. I acknowledge myself. I love and accept myself. I honor myself. I honor the brilliance in myself. I am myself, and myself is me. I see the divinity within. I feel the divinity within. I acknowledge the divinity within. I love and accept the divinity within. I honor the divinity within. I honor the brilliance and the divinity within. I am the divinity. The divinity is me. I see the divinity within. I feel the divinity within. I acknowledge the divinity within. I love and accept the divinity within. I honor the divinity within. I am the divinity. The divinity is me. I see the divinity within. I feel the divinity within. I acknowledge the divinity within. I love and accept the divinity within. I honor the divinity within. I honor the brilliance in the divinity within. I am the divinity. The divinity is me. Take a few deep breaths. Ground yourself well in your body once again. Gently move your shoulders and your head from side to side. Take one deep breath and open your eyes.
It was awesome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Aatmn.
Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
Thank you so much, Aatmn. It was very nice, very nice.
It was
Thank
very
you,
nice,
Aatmn.
Atman.
Excellent, Aatmn. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So good night
Thank
and be
you.
with us. If you haven't experienced the integration, do this statements a few more times and you'll feel this integration within. And that would be a beautiful state of being. Okay. All right. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Stay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.